Hello, this is Sizwe Podcast. My name is Agnes, and today I'm here with my co-host Patricia, and we have in our midst Elise Micomyiza. I hope I did it right. You did. Okay. So Patricia, who is Elise?
Hi, my name is Patricia again. I cannot tell you much about Elise, but what I know about the Rwandan genocide. And I haven't met people who say I survived the genocide. Mm-hmm. But Elise is one of our heroes who can tell us exactly what happened. She was there and she survived. And we call her a survivor.
A survivor. So in the 30 years after the genocide, we are privileged to have Elise in our studios. And this is going to be a conversation, a very hard one. If you need help, please call for help. But this is not going to be one of the fun, smiley parts. Mm-hmm. Welcome, Elise.
Thank you.
Who are you?
Well, my name is Elise Micomyiza, and I was born in Rwanda, Kigali.
You see, you people say it differently, right?
Yeah.
I say Kigali.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Kigali.
it's Kigali. Oh,
Kigali.
I'm learning something today.
Yeah. I was born in Kigali. My dad was a businessman. He owned garages. He owned buses. Mm-hmm. And my mom was a veterinary.
Oh.
She loved animals.
Awesome.
And I come from a family of 3.
Yeah.
So my dad had 3 kids, 2 girls and 1 boy.
Wow. Welcome to our studio.
Thank you.
And congratulations. How long has this book been in the market?
I published the book online on Amazon, I believe in May. But the book was done in April. This year. 2024.
Awesome.
Elise, in your book, you write about the Rwandan genocide in 1994 that stole the lives of your parents. How are you doing?
I'm good. I think writing has helped me heal some of the wounds that I've been carrying for so many years.
Awesome.
It took me to so many memories that some of the memories I forgot or I hide inside me just to protect me. And so when I became a mother, I started wanting to visit my past. I wanted to know what happened to me, why so many things were blocked. I used to see people and they would say hi and I didn't remember them.
Oh.
It's like my memory wanted to protect me. Mm-hmm. And Dativ, she's in the book, Donata. Her name is Donata. Yes. Her real name is Dativa. So she would come home. Sometimes she would try to remind me of the things, but I couldn't remember. So then when my daughter was born, I started to want to know what happened to me. I wanted to feel those memories that were gone. So I started seeing a doctor. I started trying to remember and putting piece by piece. And that's when I decided I wanted to write a book and put everything. But because my story wasn't full and so many memories were blocked, I decided to make it, add my own.
Yes.
To make it a full book.
A full book, yes.
But most of the things that happen in this book, it's actually things that did happen in 1994. Some of them didn't happen to me, but I know that it did happen. That's how it did happen.
Yeah, so to make it a full story and one story following, just for the reading enjoyment, you piece pieces together to make it readable. And congratulations again.
Exactly. Thank you.
Yeah, and the English is very good.
Awesome.
You are such a good writer.
Thank
I
you.
couldn't put that book down. I was like, I have to finish this book. I have to finish this book.
You are brave.
Thank you so much.
Guys, if you just join us, this is Sizwe Podcast. Today we are speaking to Elise. Elise, what's the last name?
Micomyiza.
Elise Micomyiza. Elise is a survivor from the Rwandan Genocide that happened in 1994. I don't think it happened only in that year, but it started in that year. At age 8, she has been able to bring all the memories into a beautiful book. And today we are here talking to her about some of the memories, the people that really impacted her during that journey and who she is today. Like, before we came here, I'm like, I can't see the book in you. You look like, and we thank God for the person you are today.
Thank you.
And Elise, let's talk about your childhood. You you are a child, you're going to school, you're having fun, and you hear people calling each other names like cockroach. What did you think about that at that time?
Actually, to be honest with you, when genocide started, I wasn't in school yet.
Oh.
But the cockroach name was there. Everybody would call. I had friends, I had my whole family, my cousins who lived near us, and they would say things like that. Like they would learn things like that, and they would tell us what's happening. So when genocide started, I was going to start school.
Oh.
Yeah. So because my actual age before the genocide, I was 6.
Okay.
But I changed the
with the story you created.
to make the
a
story.
girl,
I
yeah.
made 8. Yeah. Yeah.
So, what is the meaning of calling people cockroach?
So I believe Tutsi people were called cockroaches, and that was a name to, put beneath other
Yeah.
ethnetics and.
Okay. That's interesting to hear. I think every day we hear, but that really ripped my memories is that we are looking at how we can put people down with words.
Yeah.
Like, so if they are cockroaches, what do we do with them? Let's
Yeah,
kill
it's
them.
like here when some people will call other people like they're monkeys,
Yes.
So during that time they
They were calling the
Tutsis
Tutsis cockroaches.
Yeah.
Patricia.
And we've seen this in all African countries, whereby we discriminate each other by tribes.
By tribes, yes, yeah.
And when we continue doing that as a people, it ends up stemming as hatred.
Yeah, and it
And
escalates.
the next generations learn to hate the other person. And hate, sometimes it doesn't have a reason.
Yes.
Sometimes when you are told, I hate that, you end up hating things that you don't know.
Give me a reason why you hate that.
So
And
if, as a people, we are to hate each other to an extent of causing a genocide, what does it mean to us as a people?
As people, yeah. Awesome. Elise, at age 8, okay, let's take you into the book. What is the first thing you remember, like the genocide were going on all around you, but first thing or something that really made you realize that now it is home, it is happening to us as a family, as a group of people? What is your first experience of the genocide?
So one memory that I used to have, and I never realized it was a memory that was trying to come out, was every night when I was after the genocide, I couldn't sleep at night. Every time it was dark, I couldn't sleep. I wanted to sleep during the day because I was so scared of the darkness.
Wow.
And I keep having this memory of my mom waking me up. And this actually happened because my mom, one time they were looking for my dad, and he went to hide at the neighbors. And my mom bring all of us in the living room, and he told them they can look everywhere. Our dad was not there because they wanted him.
Yes.
So that kept coming. And then I remember a few days later, one of the neighbors said that it's time to leave because they've been looking for my dad for a long time.
Yes.
So he put us in his pickup. He hid us in the blanket.
Wow.
And we had to skip the Kigali and go to my grandmother, the mother of my mom.
Yeah.
So that we can find a way to escape the country. So that's when I realized that, something is happening, and it's not a movie.
It's not a movie.
At the beginning, I thought it was like this, when
could
you're
hear,
kids,
yes, yeah.
your brain will make things and you feel like maybe it's a movie, maybe it's a dream, and this was real.
Now we are running away.
Now we have to hide
And run.
in a blanket for hours. you know. So, yeah.
Guys, if you just join us, this is Sizwe Podcast. It has been 30 years since the Rwandan Genocide. And the memories, it has had so many ripple effects. And what's normally happening when we say ripple, sometimes we are looking for blessings. But the stories about the genocide, most of the time, brings a lot of emotions. And for me, even listening to Elise, I find it very hard to listen to her. But we have to, because we need to create these resources for the next generation, that it will never happen again, that a group of people will take arm and cutlasses to disseminate others just because they don't look like them or they don't. That is not right. And we are thanking Elise again for braving this to sit in our studio to talk about this. Thank you. Patricia.
And at least you talk about neighbors attacking neighbors.
Mm-hmm.
A worker attacking an employee.
Mm-hmm.
So how were those things? Like, somebody, it's there, you eat with them, you drink with them. At the end of the day, they come back to you.
And in the story, you shared something like that. I really want our audience to listen to that.
Yeah, because most of the time, and why this happened is because they always thought that Tutsi had power.
Mm-hmm.
And the Hutu were the ones doing like the bad jobs.
Yes.
And not given the opportunity. But it was the other way around, because I remember my mom, she had to go in a different country because Tutsis were not allowed to finish high school. And they had to seek knowledge somewhere else. And that's how she did it. And so when this happened, people who had bad jobs and their Tutsis, they needed to get revenge.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's how the killing started. And your babysitter will kill
your kids.
Your gate man will start killing you, because if they kill you, they will get, And plus, there was a radio that also was telling people,
instigating them.
Yeah, to
do
kill.
this.
Find them.
Find
Kill
them.
Find all the cockroaches and kill them. Yeah.
How is that allowed?
It was allowed during that time, yes. They
And
took over and they would tell them, and somebody would be like, I seen a cockroach in the house, and they will
go find them and kill them.
This is 1994.
1994, yeah.
It's not long back.
No. And in this, you lost family members.
I did. I lost 80% of my family.
Who are they?
I lost my parents, my grandparents, my siblings, my cousins. My mom's side, I think there were like 10 kids and only 2 left.
Like your mom's siblings.
Yeah.
Wow.
So imagine how many, and then their kids.
And
Actually,
their
I
kids.
have one of my aunt who just got married before the genocide, and she was killed in a horrible way because she was pregnant. They killed her, they cut the stomach, and they cut the baby. She was killed in a very
gruesome,
unhuman way.
Yes. Wow. How did you survive that?
I did survive because I wasn't supposed to survive, and I think God wanted me to survive, because what happened is that after we went to my grandparents, I went to my dad went to look for my my mom's siblings.
Yes.
And my dad never came back. So my mom decided to go look for my dad. Yeah. And she wanted us to go. I refused to go. Mm-hmm. So she took my siblings and she left the nanny with me. And so when they came, because I wasn't...
And when you use the word they, those people who are looking for you to kill.
Those who want to kill us.
Yes.
Yeah. When they came there, I remember my grandfather was reading the Bible and my grandmother was feeding me. And they came in. They took us outside. They killed my grandfather. They killed my grandmother. When we were walking by, they had... there's this kid who was yelling. They cut her arm and threw her in like how they call that, like a hole,
like a manhole. Yes.
Yeah, and she was screaming, and then they took us, and they did want to kill me, but my nanny said that I wasn't from, that she was my mom, and that I was a Tutsi, and because I wasn't from there, they didn't know.
Okay.
So they kept me and the nanny walking with them. They would kill and take us with them.
Wow.
Later on, after they found who I was and who my dad was, they were promised, my nanny told them, you will get money. If you save this girl, you will get money, because her dad has money and you will get money.
Wow.
So that's how I was saved.
Awesome. A long time ago, I was in a lecture room in Ghana, and one of my lecturers, I think he was talking about how nature survived itself. and he said, in a village in Rwanda, but then I didn't know much about it. He said in a village in Rwanda, you will go there and the whole village will be burnt down. And out of nowhere, you hear a cry of a little girl or a little boy. Trust me, that child is the one who lived to tell the story. And I think that is Elise. What happened to your other two siblings?
They were killed. So what happened is that later on, when we went to look for them, my aunt, they found them that they aligned them, and that's how they found my parents' body. They aligned my parents, my mom's siblings, her children, my siblings. They killed them, and my younger brother was like less than 6 months. He was little, and they killed them and they aligned them up. So that's how they found them. After the genocide.
Guys, if you just join us, this is Sizwe Podcast. This is heavy. It's been 30 years since the Rwandan genocide. People who have survived it have stories to tell. Elise doesn't look like somebody who is telling us this story, but that is how wonderful life, nature, and God can bring people to this state. And she said something so beautiful. She said that when I begin to have kids, I realized that I have to open up. So opening up, because all of us, like you said earlier, all of us have books in us. All of us has gone through stuff, and we want to write. But sometimes even the fear of putting that in a book alone prevents us from doing that. How did you able to get these things out? Because for me, personally, I've had a lot of challenges growing up. And when I start telling those stories, I shake. Like my whole body begin to shake. And like, ask Patricia, when she asked me to read this book, I told her, no, I can't. How were you able to stand this? Like my whole family were lined up. They killed my grandfather in front of me. Like, how were you able to bring this thing out? Who helped you?
So when I always wanted to be a writer. I always loved writing stories. I always loved telling stories. But I never knew if I could allow myself to publish something. I just knew that I loved writing because sometimes I would wake up in the middle of the night and write. Because I feel like, I just wanted to write. I always wanted to write. Definitely. Actually, when I was in high school, I used to write in the journal of the school, newspaper.
Yes.
And the headmaster loved every time I write because I always had stories to tell. And then when my daughter was born, and I realized I had so much pain, but I keep it in the drawer. Yes. I read them and I keep them in a drawer. Wow. And I realized why. We all have something to share.
Definitely.
Why does it have to stay in the drawer? Why don't we share with the world? Maybe it's going to change someone's the way they think.
Yes.
Because people who back home, like some people say we have forgiven. But have we really forgiven? I don't think so.
Yes.
We still have that pain. And I think one of the things that is because after the genocide, no one took time to heal.
Yeah.
Life was fast. We all had to go back to life. And we all have to move on.
Yes.
And so because we didn't move on, everybody have that pain. We walk with it.
Yeah.
And we have kids. And then we give it to our kids. Because we don't know how to share.
Yes.
We don't know how to tell. And we have to be strong. So after I started seeing my doctor, and I used to write, she would tell me, write everything you think about this week. Write everything that hurts you.
Wow.
Anything that you feel like you want to. I love reading your stories. And I started writing, and she started sharing it with people at the hospital. And then later on, she's like, you have a talent. You need to do something about it. And then I decided, you know what? I'm going to allow myself, even though I don't have a full script of what happened to me, I will add on things that I know did happen. And
yes.
create a book. Because some people write the book, but we don't know really what happened. There's so much pain that happened in 1994.
Oh, yes.
And there's so many things that we don't allow people to see,
And especially being an African, like you said, you have to move on. You were not even given the opportunity to heal, to talk about it, ask questions. Why did this thing happen? Exactly. And then they're like, okay, like even when we talk about mental health, suck it and get over it. So to be able to give yourself that opportunity to bring it into this beautiful thing is a healing by itself.
Exactly.
Yes, yeah.
And I know the thing that I loved the other day when I was sharing my book during the genocide we remember every year in our community.
Yes.
This guy said something beautiful. He said, this girl was 6 years old and she wrote a book and she wants to tell you this happened and this really happened. Why nobody else? I'm the youngest person.
Yes, yeah.
To write about
very good.
About
yes,
what happened.
I was just 6
Why
years.
those people who are older are not sharing this so that it doesn't happen again? It doesn't happen again.
Very good.
You know,
Yes.
we need to write it so that we can let people know that when these things like this happen in politics, we're the one affected.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
and it's not normal to actually tell people you are a cockroach or because of your ethnic, because we don't choose that.
You don't. Yes, we didn't choose
We
to
didn't
be in a
choose it.
different ethnic group.
Exactly.
Yes.
So yeah, I let myself. I put myself there. I wanted to share something, and I wanted to let other people know that no matter how young you were, you can also go and write story of your parents, what they went through.
What they
in
went
50s,
through. Yes.
you know,
Yeah.
because
yes.
we want to learn from them, so we don't make the same mistakes.
Awesome. Patricia.
And at least I want you to take us back to school. Now you are back to school with all other students who are from different tribes. How was that? Was there any tension? How was it? Because now you are with those people. Some of them are from families that killed your own families. How was that as children?
So after the genocide, I was lucky enough because most people the school that I was in, most people were coming from Uganda, Kenya, or I was in a good school. I was in a private school. I wasn't in public school. And so, and even if I would have seen people that were like me, I didn't know how to differentiate them. Because after the genocide, I was so young to understand what happened. I didn't know that I was hated for who I was. I just know that genocide happened. My parents were killed. I didn't know why they were
didn't
killed.
know that they were
I
one
didn't know.
tribe that were killing the other.
No.
No.
I didn't know. And one of the things that my aunt remembered, and she was telling me the other day, because when we were playing games, and I never knew this, and she told me, when I used to play games with other kids, when I was 7, 8, after the genocide, I would tell them, show me your neck, so I can cut it. I didn't know that.
Know that it was...
Because I thought it was a game that people were doing. And she said, you used to do that and we were scared.
Yes.
Yeah. And she told me that memory this year. When I wrote the book, she said, you don't remember? I'm like, I don't remember.
No. Wow.
So that thing stayed in my head that I saw people being cut their necks.
Yeah, you saw.
But I didn't know. And when I'm playing, that's how I was playing. But I didn't know this is the reason. You know?
Wow. Wow. Patricia.
And talking about blocking things out, because you will never understand when when people block certain memories, and then they remember some things and they don't remember
There
some
are others
things.
that they don't remember. Yeah.
Sometimes they to protect us. You know, because I feel like some of the things that I did remember that happened, like people cutting and, cutting their necks and everything. If I would have remembered that when I'm 10, 11, 12 years old, I would be scared to death.
Yes.
But this happened when I was 6. And that's how, after the genocide, even the people who, some were crazy or some were going through depression and everything, we did not understand because some people were not there to see what they saw. And I think me as a child, the way I saw that, it's not how an elder person, like if it happened to me now, I think I'll be scared to death.
Yes, to see
than when I was younger, because there's a way the mind protects you as a child. So I think that helped me that I was a child and I didn't get to, because I see other people who are like in their 20s, I have one of my cousin, she cannot even read my book.
No.
She doesn't even want to visit that memory.
No.
She can't.
Yeah.
The way a young child can visit their memory and move on and heal is not the same for those people. People older, they have grudges. It's hard for them to forgive and forget than a 6-year-old.
And talking about grudges, because when we hold these grudges, when these things happen in Africa, because that's the biggest struggle of Africa, is tribal.
Yes.
in Africa, we don't deal with racism.
Yeah.
We deal with tribalism.
Tribalism, yes, yeah.
And that's the cause of most of the wars in Africa. It's about tribes.
Tribes, yeah.
So if you were to talk to leaders in Africa, what would you say?
I would say that they have to stop. The politics affects us more than it
The
affects
populace,
the
yes, yeah.
politicians.
Yeah, but
And
because
we
they are-
shouldn't be. I think this is some. I don't think African came up with dividing us. This is something that happened because somebody came in Africa and decided, how can I break this tribe? How can I break this
these
country?
people into
So
groups.
I'm gonna divide these people, and then get what I want. Because whoever came up with telling somebody's a Tutsi, because apparently, if you learn the history, they say that the way they gave us Tutsi, they will come and count your cows, and then you are Tutsi, depending on how many cows you have, how rich, how many, what you have, how tall you are. You know, I remember I went to the mall, and this lady, I was talking to my friend, and this lady, she's Canadian. She asked me, "Oh, are you from the same country with her?" I say, "Yeah." She's like, "Then you must be a Hutu." And I said, "Why?" She said, "Because they say Hutus, they don't have a neck. You don't have a long neck." See, this is how, you know.
Is it true?
No, I don't know who came up with that. But and it was so innocent.
Yes,
But somebody told her Tutsis have long neck and Hutu
Hutus
have a
have
short neck.
short
So
neck.
you must be the Hutu one.
Oh.
You know. So these are things that we shouldn't be born and people telling us that you're Tutsi, you're Hutu, you're Zulu, I don't know.
Yeah. And then, visiting Patricia's question again, like our politicians are just a few people who are leading us in parliament. And if they cannot do things for the different tribes to come together, then we don't wish this thing on even our worst neighbors. But if we don't be careful, some of these things will happen. It's like, even back home in my country, I'm from Ghana, and it is like, okay, if an Ashanti is running for presidency, he's supposed to choose somebody from this particular tribe to be the vice president. If you don't, then there's chaos. If this person is from this tribe, so okay, in Ghana there are about 230 parliamentarians, and the population is about 34 million, and so the leaders, if you are not able to sync us together and say that we are one people, then gradually you are planting that seed again. That, if this political party doesn't choose these people as their vice president or so and so, then we are not going to vote. Then we are going to create chaos. Then we are going to do this. And we don't want to end up in this same space again. Exactly. It is scary.
It is. And that's why I'm glad, like, right now, what we have, we are all Rwandans. There's no Tutsi, there's no
Very
Hutu.
good.
And the president makes sure that you cannot just be in Rwanda and be like, I'm a Tutsi. No.
Very
You're
good.
a Rwandan.
You are
and it should be
Rwandan,
like
yes.
that in the whole Africa. You're Ghanaian. You don't need to be.
You don't need to be this
anything
and
else
that.
except
You're
being a
just
Ghanaian.
Ghanaian. You come from Ghana. That's it. I'm Canadian. Come from Canada. That's it.
It's strange. Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
they should make it simple.
Yes. Make it very simple.
Yeah.
People, I've heard something that really had made my blood boil this afternoon. But it is our story. The good, the bad, and the ugly. It is a way of storing knowledge, resources for our next generation. And I will let Patricia say something, and then Elise will tell us one more thing, and we can bring the curtain to a close.
And Elise, finally you grew up, you found love, you got married.
Oh, did you marry from your tribe?
No, my husband. My husband is from here.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he's
okay.
he's Canadian.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because my mom would kill me if like something of this sort happened and then you are crossing.
No, my husband is Canadian, and the thing that I wanted to point out, and we need to teach our children. I went to pick her in daycare, and I asked her, who was that lady who was working in daycare? She said, "Oh, that lady, you mean that lady who is white like me?" I say, "Excuse me, what do you mean who's white like you?" She said, "Yeah, Mom, you know I'm white." I'm like, "You're not. You're half me, half that.
Very good.
You're not white."
Yes.
Yeah.
Very good.
He says, so mommy, what am I?
Oh, that's, you know, remember when we spoke to that girl?
You know?
She's like, and I'm a mixed race, and now I don't even know how to describe myself.
Exactly,
yes.
Yeah, so you
But I made it clear. She said, but they told me I'm white. I'm like, whoever told you that is not true. You're half me, you're Canadian. That's it. You know?
And that's enough.
That's enough. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we need to let them know. That's who you are. You're not.
Yeah.
I'm not white. You're not white because you have me
so
too.
If you are half me and you are half that,
dead.
there's no way one day you go and start at one side and say, let's kill all that people. Thank you so much.
Yeah. And no matter what we know, as much as we can do things in Africa, let's have these tribes, but let's work things out together.
It's scary.
It's scary because the politicians might capitalize on that.
Yes.
But as a people, we have the power to choose the right and wrong.
We are more than them. We are more than them.
Yeah.
And that's why we need to speak up and stop, allowing people to label where I'm from. I'm from Rwanda, that's it.
That's it.
Yes.
Doesn't matter which town, north side, east, I don't know. I'm just from Rwanda. I'm just from Ghana. That's enough.
Yeah.
Thank you. Before we close, do you have anything more to say to our audience?
Yes, you should.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I have to say that this is a beautiful book, and the title is Reviver, Surviving 100 Days. This is a true story based on Elise's life. And please, if you are looking for one of those books that make your blood tingle this summer, please go to Amazon. Where can we find it?
Amazon.
And then if we want to find it from you, yourself, I want to call you and walk home. Do you sell it personally?
I sell them.
Okay, please give
They're
them
also at North Point Church.
North Point Church in Edmonton.
Edmonton, yeah.
Yes, very good. And thank you.
And that one is a page turner. This one, it reminded me of Agnes's book. I couldn't put your book down. That woman is a writer too. I want that book.
I want it.
No, she told me I was sitting in the washroom and I couldn't get out of the washroom until I had to finish this book.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the good thing is, if you can read, and I know, like, African people, we have problem reading. Not a lot of people love reading.
It's true. Tell it.
So there is applications you can download, and it's gonna read the book for you.
And listen.
Because we do have the book on Kindle, which is like the
audio, yes.
And then you can download the application, and it's gonna read for you.
Awesome.
Because I know sometimes I don't want to read, but I love listening to stories. So sometimes I download when I want to sleep, and I listen to people who...
And it will make you sleep fast.
Yeah, this is a beautiful book. So everyone, please buy Elise's book. Let's support our African writers. Yes. We have wonderful African writers.
Thank you. And if you just join us, you have missed a lot. So we want you to subscribe to our channel and listen to most of the stories that we bring to you. Today, we are happy to have Elise, who have told us a little bit of the story that she wrote in her book. And I think you will enjoy it. We'll see you next time. This is Sizwe Podcast. My name is Agnes, my co-host Patricia. And thank you, Elise.
Thank you.